Okay, I can't believe I'm about to say this. If you know me, you know I'm very logical. I'm not into woo woo stuff. So Satyen asked me if I'm open to doing a session with him. I said yes, because he is lovely. I've met him in person several times. We've eaten several meals together. He seems like a very credible person. But he did say to me, this is a bit off the beaten track. So keep an open mind about it. So I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. Right. And we set up a time and he said, just think of one thing that you feel is holding you back. Like, what's one challenge or like what's just a block in your life? Totally sounded normal to me. And I went in ahead and did it. One of my concerns was, I said, does this sound like something that might go against my faith, what I believe? But Satyan said, it's his science. He says, you'll, when you experience it, you'll see. So again, I said, okay, he's my friend. I'm going to do this. So I did the session with him. I'm still at a loss for words to describe it. How do you describe something that's indescribable? Okay. It wasn't just, it was something that was more holistic. So it was something that, seemed to help integrate together my heart, my mind, my memories, and I said to him, well, here's what I think my challenge is. And he had me use some acupressure points. But what was really powerful about it was the questions he was asking. And for some reason, just the way he was asking it, the way he got my mindset around certain things, it's really, really hard to describe. Again, I still don't even know how to describe it to people, but he was, and this probably happened in 30 to 40 minutes. Like, it didn't even take that long, which is crazy to me. But what happened throughout the journey he took me on, again, he's like asking questions. I guess it might be similar to being in a therapy session, although I've never been to therapy. But he took that block that I had, and it's gone. Like, it feels like a distant memory um, that has no power over me anymore. Like, it just, I have no emotional attachment to it. But, again, he didn't make me detach anything or pull myself apart or create a new version of me. The closest I could think of is if you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event. So I've been to UPW, Unleash the Power Within, 2 times. And I remember the first time was very impactful for me because that was the first time I realized that I had stories in my head, what was behind my imposter syndrome, all this stuff. So I went all in on it and it was very helpful. But over the years, the effectiveness wore down for whatever reason. But what Satyan put me through, it feels like it completely, like it's weird because again, I can't describe it very well. It's like he somehow made me a more integrated whole person, but he didn't make me a new person. He just brought out more of me. And then he also, at the same time, I mean, I guess you could call it trauma if you want to call it trauma, but this thing that would also, like, that I guess I had emotional attachments to as well, which would hold me back. It just feels like a very distant memory, like remember when I was very little, I don't know why I would do this, but when I would go into the car, I would put my hand on the outside and inevitably my dad would slam the door and he would shut the door on my fingers right here. And that happened several times. I know that it happened because my memory remembers it happening, but I don't remember the pain. I barely remember. It's just something that happened, but I don't think about it because it happened in the past. And that's how I feel about this thing that he came out of me. And I said, here's what I thought was a practical blockage. Where I said, hey, I just noticed that I do this a lot and it bugs me, right? I know that it's holding me back. I know that I'm not as successful because of this thing. And very rapidly we figured out what was underneath it, integrated it to me. And I feel like, I don't want to say I feel like a new person, but it's that feeling. I feel like I'm more me than I ever have been. And I feel that I've been released from whatever was holding me back. Like something was just dragging me back. And he was able to do that in 30 to 40 minutes. So I don't know. He's got some type of. I kid around and say it's kind of magic, but he says that it's actually science, and he's a master at this, so he makes it look effortless. That's how I know he's a master at it. And but it is based in science. I just don't know how to describe it. Just that you gotta. I was wrong. I was wrong. I admit this now. I was wrong. It's not a woo woo thing. It's not some weird spiritual journey thing that goes against my Christian beliefs and faith. It's actually based in science and was extremely helpful. So, like, if you get a chance to do this, like, just go ahead and, do the session with him. I think a lot of people haven't heard about him because I feel like he's like this secret, secret. I don't even want to call him a guru, but it's like this secret thing that you do that makes you super successful. And then you don't really want to tell everybody about it, right? But I'm here telling you that this is, yeah, if you have an opportunity to do this with him, go ahead and do this. And I'm saying this as a business leader, not as somebody who's saying, hey, like, I need a better relationship, whatever. Those are all good, but I'm a very logical person. So as a logical business person who's very interested in high performance and maintaining and improving high performance without it feeling like a battle inside of you, without you feeling burnt out, this will get you started on the path. And what's incredible to me is Satyen said this is just the tip of the iceberg. So he has. So we're going to do another session, and this time we're going to expand. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go.